What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to share with you guys a quick piece called Manifold Mercies. And the source of inspiration for this piece is from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, verses 6 through 38. I hope you guys enjoy. In 6 days' time, God gave birth to every living thing on this earth. He filled this world with riches when it was void, then gave all of his possessions for every man to enjoy. Fruit from the trees, water from the rocks, bread from heaven to feed the hungry flocks. Acres of land to call home sweet home, a helpmate so man will never be alone. He made barren rooms fruitful and multiplied the population of children living in every single nation. When God's children were taken captive and held hostage, he broke off every chain, released his people from bondage, never failing to come through with the delivery of the enemy into his children's hand as a declaration of victory. Though men were tired and full of bitterness, they were given rest for many years in the wilderness. There were no tears in their clothes, nor were there any swelling of their toes, while walking with a cloudy pillar by day and a pillar of fire by night, so man would never be in the wilderness without light. He gave instructions to all men on how to carry out his statutes, that they may have solid Christian values. But what kind of gratitude did men show after he gave them his cisterns, vineyards, and olive groves to fill themselves with food, water, and oils, as well as the fat from the enemy's spoils? Well, all men have rose from their beds to play, feeding their flesh with lust every single day, chasing their favorite idols at a high rate of speed before kneeling down to worship at their feet 7 days a week. With a total disregard of the commandments that God wrote, many men gave credit to items made of gold for bringing them out of bondage, hunger, and poverty, and blessing them with an abundance of property. Consequently, many men have lost their lives and freedom from fighting in wars against other worldly kingdoms. Under the leadership of foolish kings, they chose to lead them back into bondage after losing to their foes. Yet in God's manifold mercies, he heard man cry and plea, forgave their trespasses, and once again set them free, handing over enemy territory to his children as a possession. So long as men worship God, they remain free from oppression. Gracious, merciful, and slow to anger, Christ is ready to pardon all iniquities, but hearts continue to be hardened. Necks continue to be stiffened, and shoulders continue to shrug, ignoring Christ's warnings of how they will be judged for going on a murderous rampage, shedding the blood of his prophets for speaking the truth out of love. Telling all men who are walking in a state of blindness to seek the rays of Christ and his abundant kindness, to return to him because he is the way, truth, and light, shedding upon any man who wants eternal life. Unfortunately, this message has fallen on many deaf ears, and many men find themselves living in Satan's atmosphere. But thankfully, the way of Christ's light cleared the visions of many men who are no longer locked up in prisons. Released from sin, the records of many men are now spotless. As they became heirs of Christ, covenant, glory, and the promise of eternal life, where the streets are gold and the gates are pearly, and this place called heaven, where God gives his manifold mercies. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this poem. If you're viewing this poem on my Instagram page, like this video and share it with any and everybody you know. If you're viewing this poem on my YouTube page, like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications to get access to all content upon release, and share this video with any and everybody you know. Until next time, have a good day.